Diddy's sons are reportedly releasing their own documentary about Diddy, and it's alleged that Diddy himself will speak publicly for the first time. The project is said to be a direct response to 50 Cent's Netflix documentary, which is currently going viral. Meanwhile, 50 Cent is already planning a part 2, escalating the situation even further. Now, Diddy's sons and 50 Cent appear to be heading into a full-blown documentary war, with competing docuseries set to battle for control of the narrative.
Zeus Network has a new Diddy documentary coming out, and this time it is coming from the perspective of Diddy and his sons. The whole time I thought we were about to leave Diddy in 2025. Well, this documentary is coming in 2026. And a lot of people, just like myself, are already not feeling this new documentary coming from Diddy's sons. And a lot of people aren't happy about it and actually shocked that the owner of Zeus Network, Lemmy, is doing this Diddy documentary. But what a lot of people fail to forget is Lemmy and Diddy have been friends for quite some time.
Of his children arriving in court for day one of their father's sex trafficking trial in New York. Hands gripped in solidarity.
Do you still believe your dad's innocent? How did you feel hearing that testimony? You have to apologize on behalf of your father. Do you believe your father's innocent? You talked about your father. Your dad was dead for years. Your dad was dead for years for abusing women. That's wrong. He doesn't hurt.
The foe, the joy, the pain, our joy, the loyalty, the highs, the love, the hate, the truth, the lies. And Diddy calling
Hello,
from Fort Dix.
this is a prepaid collect call from Federal Correctional Institution, Fort Dix.
When they released this trailer last night, there were so many comments to Lemmy and Zeus Network that they did not want to see this. A lot of people feel like this whole new documentary is just a PR narrative, once again being pushed by Diddy and his sons to try to clean up his image. And after hearing certain things on 50 Cent's Netflix documentary, we have to go back in time and remember what we were seeing during trial. Even when it came to Diddy's sons, Christian and Justin Combs, they both came on 2 separate occasions to trial wearing a free Sean Combs shirt. The first one to do this was Christian Combs during Jane's testimony, and you're not supposed to wear this stuff in front of a jury to try to sway their opinion.
Justin and Christian Combs are both set to appear in the documentary, marking the first time since the start of the trial that either of them has publicly taken a stance regarding their father's alleged crimes. It's also important to note that both Justin and Christian are facing their own pending sexual assault lawsuits. So if Diddy decides to participate as well, the documentary would feature 3 alleged predators attempting to deflect blame for as long as this project runs, turning it into what many are already calling a propaganda piece rather than an honest reckoning.
That are going to be in this, it shows clearly we are also going to hear from Diddy himself on a phone call while he's in prison at Fort Dix. Already seeing the way people are reacting, I do not think this is hitting for them the way they want it to. And I think this is also because everybody knows that Diddy is actually appealing his sentence that he was found guilty of right now. I think that if Diddy just took accountability for the things that we have all seen him do wrong, he would do a lot better than trying to push a certain narrative. Because to me and a lot of other...
Interestingly, the person most excited about this is someone no one saw coming. 50 Cent actually reposted the trailer for the docuseries on his Instagram and reacted to its release. It's pretty clear that 50 isn't supporting the project. He's trolling Justin and Christian, especially since the tension between them has been building for quite some time. I'll get into that beef in a moment, but first, let's take a look at exactly what 50 posted.
Tap in as expected. 50 Cent caught wind of it hitting the news, hitting the blogs, it being on the timeline yesterday that Diddy's sons, Sean and Justin, will be dropping a docuseries of their own to tell their side of the story, their experiences, and how they view things on the Zeus Network. Well, 50 Cent put it up on his Instagram page, and he promoted the trailer when you look at it from the other side of it on the marketing side, but he knows it plays back into the doc that he just dropped as well with the record, and he put it up and said, wow, I want to see this show. I'm not sure this was a good idea. And he tagged at 50 Cent Action, letting it be known that this is really promo.
As soon as the trailer for the documentary dropped online, the backlash was immediate and intense. Under 50 Cent's comment section, one person wrote, "Sheesh, I see the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree." Another user on Twitter added, "We already know he loves to control the narrative through media manipulation and propaganda." The reaction grew so heated that Zeus Network CEO Lemuel Plummer, a close friend of Diddy, felt compelled to step in, address the controversy, and take control of the situation himself.
Did take to his Instagram right after this trailer for this docu-series dropped, and he was getting tons of backlash from people saying they do not want this crap, they only want to see baddies. He said, to be clear, this documentary series is centered on providing Justin and Christian the opportunity to share their personal story and lived experiences, particularly as their lives have also been directly impacted. This project is not intended to endorse, defend, or vindicate Diddy or any individual, nor does it seek to justify or minimize any action that had been alleged or adjudicated. Do you find this part odd because of all the wording that was just shown in the trailer? The lies, the truth, the foes. Anyways, as a network, we believe it's important for allowing individuals to speak for themselves just as any credible network entering the documentary space does. Our role is to provide a platform for the stories to be told honestly and without prejudgment. What viewers will see is raw, real, and authentic storytelling. That is the essence of this project. We respectfully ask that the series not be prejudged before it's seen. Everyone will have the opportunity to watch, assess the content, and arrive at their own conclusion.
Now, this is clearly a propaganda piece, and it's far from the first time Diddy has attempted to control the narrative. The goal appears to be shifting attention away from 50 Cent's documentary and the allegations currently being discussed. Even during the trial, Diddy was reportedly working behind the scenes with his sons to reshape public perception and present a more favorable image.
Really being paid to rally support for Diddy outside of his trial? Because that is what many are now alleging, as people have been standing across the street from the courthouse in Free Puff and Free Diddy shirts. With, for example, journalist and content creator Emily Hagan posting a TikTok of this group of people in matching shirts that also then included this interaction.
These are all paid protesters. You can get $20 an hour if you wear a t-shirt.
You guys speak up.
She just got recruited, right?
I refuse.
You said no.
No.
It wasn't worth the 20?
No, but like he told me that it's for a Diddy coin, so I'm not really sure what that is. The lady right there, she just kept convincing me to go wear a shirt, and I'm like,
And while that TikTok was initially posted around 5 days ago, it's now gotten a lot more traction as people like 50 Cent, who famously not a big Diddy fan, has started posting about it and trolling Diddy by posting seemingly edited images of him in the shirts and writing things like, "Okay, now where do I send my $20 invoice, guys? Deals."
The timing of this release is also highly suspicious, especially since Diddy has just filed an appeal. According to recent court documents, he's asking a federal court to overturn his Mann Act convictions and his 50-month sentence, or, at the very least, reduce the sentence and secure an early release.
Immediate release from prison. This week, his attorneys urging a federal appeals court in New York to reverse his conviction on prostitution-related charges or direct the judge to lighten his 4-year sentence. The National News Desk, Jeff Harris, joining us. Diddy's lawyers, Jeff, officially filing that appeal this week. Tell us more about their argument and also the chances it succeeds. What are you hearing?
So Diddy is currently serving that 50-month prison sentence after being found guilty on those prostitution-related charges over the summer. In their appeal filing, his lawyers now arguing the music mogul was treated harshly during sentencing by a federal judge who let evidence surrounding charges that he was actually found not guilty of actually then influence his punishment. This week, lawyers for music mogul Sean Diddy Combs urging a federal appeals court in New York to either order his immediate release and reverse his conviction or lighten his over 4-year prison sentence.
This appeal was expected, especially when the defense filed a motion for a new trial and a notice of appeal, and the arguments are attacking the conviction.
Perhaps the most disturbing part of all this is that both Justin and Christian are reportedly implicated in Diddy's crimes. So the idea of two alleged predators teaming up to rehabilitate the image of a third, who has already been convicted, is genuinely shocking. According to critics, that's exactly why Diddy's sons are doing this in the first place, because their own names are entangled in the same allegations they're now trying to deflect.
50 is a diabolical nigga, man. You know what 50 basically just did? he just teased the sequel. He's like, yo, at first it was the Pops. Now the second season. You know the second season is usually more lit than the first. Second season is watching how they were tag teaming. Justin, Christian, and Diddy.
Diddy's son, Christian King Combs, also reacted to 50 Cent's documentary series, posting on Twitter, "On my dad, if I ever see 50 Cent, I'll slap the out of him." The post was quickly deleted, but 50 Cent's response remained. He fired back, saying, "Lil bro, first close your damn mouth when you take pictures. I've been rich 3 different times, sold records, sold shows, sold liquor, sold power. You're still living off Wi-Fi and legacy relics." Meanwhile, according to Lil Rod's lawsuit, Diddy's other son, Justin Combs, was a regular attendee at Diddy's infamous freak-off parties and allegedly responsible for sourcing underage girls for him. Photos have emerged showing Justin at these parties, and it's claimed that many of the minors present were there because of Justin's involvement before Diddy or others allegedly sexually assaulted them. There are also allegations that Diddy forced victims to have sex with prostitutes while he touched himself, often recording these situations, which he called freak-offs. These allegations tie directly to Justin Combs. Back in February, producer Rodney Jones, also known as Lil Rod, filed a civil lawsuit against Diddy. In the lawsuit, Lil Rod specifically names Justin, describing him as someone who solicited prostitutes, underage girls, and sex workers. The lawsuit even includes a photo of Justin with an allegedly underage girl. One cited incident allegedly involved an underage girl attending a Diddy listening party, with a sex worker also present, leading to a freak-off. Lil Rod also claims that on that night, he was forced to take a laced drink, felt lightheaded, and later woke up at 4 a.m. naked next to a sex worker. Justin Combs is listed as a defendant because, according to Lil Rod, he helped facilitate Diddy's alleged RICO enterprise and at times participated in these events. Christian King Combs is not far behind. He's also named in lawsuits. A recent case filed by 26-year-old stewardess Grace Omar claims that Christian groped and sexually harassed her after drugging her with a laced drink at one of Diddy's yacht parties. The allegations paint a disturbing picture, showing how both Justin and Christian are entangled in these ongoing legal battles alongside their father.
She was 25 years old at the time. She believed that the trip would be a, quote, wholesome family excursion, but says it, quote, turned into a hedonistic environment, even describing rampant drug use amongst sex workers and celebrities who came on board. She believes that the alcohol on the yacht had been laced with drugs because she says women would have one drink and then almost immediately pass out or start falling over. This is, by the way, something that it was also alleged in Jones's lawsuit, that Combs would spike the drinks of different people. But focusing on Christian Combs, Markey says that Christian Combs had been staying at a villa on the shore, but that he would come onto the yacht in the evening to party. And on December 28, 2022, Christian reportedly arrived very intoxicated and then proceeded to pressure Markey to take shots of tequila. She did. Christian allegedly tried to get her to drink more in the yacht's makeshift studio. Markey alleges that Christian kissed her neck, kissed her face, as he groped her legs, breasts.
There's also the matter of Christian's alleged involvement in helping his father cover up a shooting, something even referenced in 50 Cent's documentary series. According to court documents, the incident occurred on September 12, 2022, outside Diddy's Cellist Studios. Lil Rod claims that Diddy, his son Justin, and Justin's friend, known as G, were all present when tensions escalated. Lil Rod says he heard multiple gunshots and later found G on the bathroom floor in a fetal position, bleeding from his hip and leg. Lil Rod tried to help by applying pressure to G's wounds and called for an ambulance, but both Diddy and Justin reportedly disappeared to another part of the studio. Lil Rod alleges that Diddy then gave strict instructions to lie to the police, claiming he had nothing to do with the shooting and forcing Lil Rod to tell authorities that G had been shot in a drive-by outside the studio. This allegation directly involves Justin Combs. But the legal drama doesn't stop there. In a completely separate civil lawsuit, Grace Omar K claims that Christian King Combs sexually assaulted her on a yacht in December 2022, an incident she says was facilitated by Diddy. Both Christian and Justin are reportedly concerned about the fallout. With 50 Cent planning a second part to his documentary, there's a very real chance they could be exposed as well. Instead of waiting to be named or implicated, they appear to be trying to get ahead of the story. Their upcoming documentary seems designed to preempt 50 Cent's revelations, allowing them to frame themselves as victims rather than abusers, and control the narrative on their own terms.
Because what do you mean 50 Cent got 140 more hours of Diddy just recording himself doing all this crazy stuff on camera? 140 extra hours. Do you know how many terabytes that footage possibly is? How many hard drives? How many bottles of baby? All right. You telling me we got the whole 4-part series documentary and that was just, what, a nickel of what he has just sitting? Like, 50 is going to use this to just crush this man. I don't even know what to say about this. I'm still stuck on Buddy, the producer, that kept waking up every single day, still there with his butt on soul. Like, bro woke up every single day like, ouch, brother.
Shit is about to hit the fan. After what 50 just came across in that secret little Diddy footage that he paid from the videographer that Diddy didn't pay, they are saying 50 has footage that will not only add more time to Diddy's sentence, but Diddy might not ever come out. Listen up, check this out. Now y'all know that footage that where Diddy is behind the scenes talking to his lawyer and all of this stuff, and people are like, damn, what was Diddy recording it? Well, Diddy was recording it because he thought he was about to beat the case. So he wanted to do a Netflix documentary. Didn't pay the guy, and then 50 got all 140 hours of footage of secret Diddy tactics. Well, there's a guy named Neil who was mentioned in the court, works right up under Diddy, was organizing everything. Allegedly, they are saying that he is on video, film, tampering with witnesses, giving out addresses, offering money, bribing, we'll pay for your lawyers, all kind of shit that could be counted as witness tampering, obstruction of justice. And 50, of all people, has his hands on this footage. And I'm hearing that this could implicate Diddy's lawyers in some bullshit. They could be charged. This shit is getting wild. And I'm hearing that this 50 Cent documentary is just the fucking tip of the iceberg. And I like it. What if I told...
Some industry insiders believe Diddy is actually forcing his sons to make this documentary. The thinking is simple. If Diddy falls, his kids go down with him. After all of this comes out, no one is likely to hire them. On top of that, it was Diddy's money funding their lifestyle and this project. And that's the uncomfortable truth nobody seems willing to say out loud.
And they didn't choose it. They were born into this. I don't think anybody's paying attention to that. The choice to that guy. If that man calls and say, I need you to do this, I need you to do that, what else are they going to do? They gotta bet on him. I'm sure they're all praying he makes it, because if not, what are they going to do? And they definitely can't count on Grandma Janice. They're screwed. One way or the other, they're screwed.
So there's no escape for them.
How? Was there escape for OJ's children? Their daddy is the new OJ. And we already know he done it! Like, OJ's kids went through hell. And there was reasonable doubt. We didn't see a video of him doing anything. We didn't see him running around in a tower tonight with a, We seen that with the Dipper. It's worse than OJ.
This documentary, if it can even be called that, appears to be Diddy's attempt to control the narrative and buy time. It's less about exposing the truth and more about damage control. Every frame, every statement, and every carefully placed interview seems designed to distract from the allegations. And this isn't the first time they've tried to push back against 50 Cent's docuseries. Diddy's lawyers have already filed a cease and desist and are reportedly threatening to sue both 50 Cent and Netflix for over $1 billion.
Like, why were you so infatuated with a child that wasn't yours? Were you grooming that little boy? I don't even want to start those conversations because that's not your child. You know what I'm saying? And for you to keep him that close, it's like you kept him that close because he might got your secrets because he's not your child. So if he's not your child and you that type of person with that type of character, you don't mind actually doing it to him when he finally reaches a certain age because he's not yours. And you know in your mind he's not yours. And now you keep him real close to you. You make sure he don't go to his daddy. Why? You make sure he's separated with him and you provide him with everything he wants. Why? You got one of them little Michael Jackson secrets. He got one of them secrets that he can't tell nobody because his legacy, I mean, his manhood gonna be, and not only that, his brother no gonna look at him crazy. Only Puffy know, only God and Puffy.
Quincy, right?
I don't know. All I'm gonna say is, I don't know.
I'll be sure, son.
All I'm gonna say is, who's infatuated with another man's son now, like that? Like you, that seemed like.
This cease and desist likely won't change much. 50 Cent has already revealed how he obtained the footage. Diddy reportedly refused to pay his editor, just like he allegedly did with Lil Rod, so 50 stepped in, paid for the material, and now owns exclusive rights to everything that could be released.
Diddy's legal team sent Netflix a cease and desist letter, but now the big rumor is that they're preparing a defamation lawsuit, potentially for $1 billion over the Sean Combs The Reckoning documentary. They're claiming it uses stolen and unauthorized footage to create a shameful hit piece and damage his reputation.
What is there precedent? Because when it's a documentary, footage doesn't necessarily have to be approved if it's considered a news piece.
And since you didn't watch it, Ebro, there is one piece.
I watched some of it.
Where, there's very intimate footage of Diddy with his lawyers. But in the documentary, it also talks about how he hired a young person to film him for X amount of hours, a lot, and didn't pay him. So if 50 comes along and is like, I will pay you for this footage.
Well, unless
that's the biggest congrats, by the way.
Well, depending on what the documentation is between that,
that person
and Diddy.
Yeah.
Right? If that documentation says that this footage is yours if I am paid. If I am not paid, the footage is mine.
Well, no, but I think the default would be it's his. If they didn't end up doing paperwork and the guy's just been allowed access, that's his footage.
Oh, yeah, 1,000%. If there's not paperwork.
So if Diddy never signed paperwork, he was like, no, I'm going to get you when I get you.
Yeah, that's right.
Now Diddy never gave him $1. Now Diddy went to jail. He's holding all this footage. 50 goes, I'd like that footage. All right, how much, bud?
Yeah.
This cease and desist isn't going to do much of anything. 50 already revealed how he got the footage. Diddy refused to pay his editor, just like Lil Rod, and 50 stepped in. He paid for the footage and now owns exclusive rights to everything that may be released.
I'm getting it as your boss. Yo, man, how 50 get, blah, blah, blah. Yo, Puff, take this self doing that. Let me explain something to y'all. All right? Whether it's NDAs, whether it's whatever. When these young boys come in, first of all, he only deal with young videographers because he want to rob them, and he know that they want the opportunity to follow Puff Daddy, P. Diddy. They want that opportunity. So they get him at a low price anyway. But when you stay out so many hours a day, Puff wants a videographer with him 24 hours a day on call. Whether we on the yacht, whether we on a ship, wherever we at, he wants to videotape that, right? So now, they come to agreement. They come to whatever the pay is going to be. But then it'd be so many hours on that invoice that he don't want to pay. He gets in touch with the office. He gets in touch with the chief of staff. Yo, what is this I'm paying? What is this I'm paying? You know what you paying. You was outside all of these hours. It's 160 something hours in a week. You was outside 140. That's the invoice he put in. So now, being if you got a contract and he don't stand to that contract, guess what happens? He could do whatever he want to do with that footage. So now that footage goes to the highest bidder. And 50 had to be the highest bidder to get there. Yo, this is business. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't in love with you. Everybody ain't dedicated. Everybody ain't loyal to the point of stupidity.
50 Cent clearly knows that Diddy's sons are implicated in corruption. Months ago, he even wrote a letter to the judge asking that Diddy not be granted early release. In that letter, he explicitly called out Diddy's sons, stating they were just as involved and just as bad as their father.
Never-before-seen footage of Sean Diddy Combs in the days leading up to his arrest in New York last September.
You want to put the stuff in my fanny pack, King?
The exclusive video obtained by Netflix shows Combs debating with his lawyers about strategy.
Listen to me. I'm going to get off the phone right now, and I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution. No matter what, no matter what nobody said. Let's just here and there, y'all are not working together the right way. We're losing.
The footage is part of a new, highly anticipated docuseries by director Alex Stapleton and rapper and executive producer Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, titled Sean Combs: The Reckoning. Curtis, Alex, thank you so much for the time right now. I'm looking forward to talking about this, and this is something that a lot of people have been talking about for some time now. Alex, let me begin with you. The docuseries is entitled Sean Combs: The Reckoning. How is this one different from the others that have been out there?
Well, you know, I think that the biggest marker of what makes this film or this series different is how much time we took into putting into the making of the film, doing our due diligence to get the right voices, you know, to the table, you know, this is a series that spans over 30 years.
Moranian. Now, he posts this as a text message. I don't know if this was a text message to his lawyer, where maybe he was instructing his lawyer to write this letter to the judge. If you don't know, the judge is accepting letters in the case of the sentencing of Sean P. Diddy Combs, who's set to be sentenced tomorrow. And 50 Cent decided to write his letter to the judge as well. If you don't know, at this point, I think it's abundantly clear that 50 Cent is the baby father of the child that belongs to not only 50, but the woman that is identified as Jane Doe. That woman, I think we now know, is Daphne Joy. So Daphne Joy's baby daddy is 50 Cent. So maybe there's a reason and there's some relevance here for 50 to have somewhat of a letter being sent to the judge. Why? Well, one of the two victims, or the main two victims, which is victim one, we all know is Cassie, but victim two is known as Daphne Joy. Who's Daphne Joy's baby father? 50 Cent. So he writes a letter and he says, "Dear Judge Summeranian, I've had an ongoing dispute with Puffy for over 20 years. He's very dangerous. Multiple times I have feared for my life. I think you should consider the safety of the general public, Your Honor, before unleashing him upon them. There hasn't been enough time for him to reform or make any adjustments, despite his trying to teach a class in there." This is how you know he actually wrote this. This is bad grammar. Despite him trying to teach a class in there. As you're already aware, the government has spent maximum amount of money on deploying federal agencies, which appear to be an army, in two locations simultaneously. Later, his sons, who's dealing with his own R-word allegations, claimed that the feds had hit the wrong house. Anyway, Diddy's only going to return to hiring more male sex workers and keep most of the baby oil away from the general public, and babies need it. My Netflix doc on this scandalous subject.
Diddy's son stepping forward doesn't clear anything up, it only raises more questions. When the people telling the story are themselves named in lawsuits, tied to alleged cover-ups, and financially dependent on the very man they're defending, credibility goes out the window. If you think this documentary is about the truth, think again. And if you believe 50 Cent knows far more than he's letting on, make sure you're subscribed because this story is far from over.